Imagine leaving your home unsure of what might be there when you get back. Imagine water rushing over levees while winds and waves ripped apart homes, neighborhoods, and businesses. When Hurricane Katrina tore into the Gulf Coast, Veolia employees were on the ground in a variety of capacities. We were managing wastewater treatment facilities for New Orleans, Kenner, Harahan, other communities. We were providing environmental services to support area businesses and manufacturers with our expertise in resource recovery, water, energy efficiency, waste and industrial services. Before and after the storm, we were there, and we still are.
We process approximately 120 MGD gallons per day at this facility, which this is one of the few facilities in the state of Louisiana that incinerates the waste. So basically what we do is we handle all the wastewater treatment for the city of New Orleans and the West Bank.
Well, before the storm, we prepped for the storm here at the plant. We gathered the materials that the guys that were going to stay, which is 4 of them. We tried to get all the equipment that we could tie down, the materials that we needed to move out of here, and just prepare for it. We always have somebody that maintains the plant, even through a storm, and we've done it for many storms before, but that one was a little bit different.
When we first saw, everybody was kind of meek about this hurricane. Until the Friday prior to the hurricane, which supposedly was going to hit late Sunday, it was still classified going to Florida. And then come time on Friday, midday Friday, it said, all right, it's got its crosshairs now set for New Orleans. And at that time, they also classified this storm as coming up to a Category 5, which is complete and utter destruction.
When the storm hit, a project manager said, we're doing okay. We're surviving, the storm's here, but we're okay. I'm like, great, I'll check back with you.
At first, we thought we was making out pretty good. Then we lost the power, and next thing we know, the water started coming up. And it was really amazing how quickly the water came up. And during the storm, the wind, it's just amazing how strong that wind was. One of the things that I remember mostly was being in this control room, this wall over here. There was a whole bank of windows there. They all of a sudden just was snatched out the building and disappeared.
Maybe about 5 or 6 hours later, I get a call screaming, get someone to get us out of here.
After everything went down, no power, nothing, it's how we're gonna get out of here. And when we get out, where we going? What we're gonna do?
So at that point, I thought about it. We had a vendor. I knew he knew a lot of people in New Orleans. Well, he knew someone with Air National Guard, thank God.
We went out that door over there and we was rescued by the Coast Guard. They lifted us off the roof.
He helped to get them to their families, either via bringing them there or putting them on some type of transportation to get where their families were.
So our immediate response was to get the leadership team in the office at the time together to decide how we were going to respond to this emergency. And we began to immediately try to contact our employees and their families to understand what the challenge was, where they were located, and how we needed to respond. So it was a balanced emotional time of the business, but also our employees and their families.
After Katrina, we had a major support from Veolia to get this facility ready to go.
We had to get generators for the power to run the equipment. We had to get water brought in. And just a lot of cleanup. It's a lot of work by a lot of different people.
We actually had 20 feet of water here at the plant. So it was a long journey to get the plant back in normal condition. And it took a lot out of every employee that came back. Sewage and Water Board of New Orleans finally got the funding to build a new administrative building. So we see something positive coming forward for us as far as the plant. And the plant looks like nothing has ever happened to it. It's got this wall that's built around the plant.
The wall now is approximately about 5 foot higher than the elevation of most walls around the city of New Orleans. Once we close the main floodgates, we are isolated from everyone. We completely have a brand new generator. We're self-sufficient in this facility. The logistics from Veolia now know what we really need. And that's what's going to come into it. We can mobilize faster and come back quicker through that efforts through the things that we've done during Katrina.
It was a long haul for us. It's still hard. It's still hard. But I thank my coworkers for what they've done for one another, because we would have never made it without that. We needed that strength. They cared. They saw what we were going through, and their hands were there, and they reached out to us.
To see them proudly help us rebuild the plant, and then look back today and see that it's a vibrant business. And if you look back at that team and really the broader group around it, a really good sense of team. And I think part of that is because they saw the way we reacted to the challenge, the emergency, the real devastation and the emotional aspect of what happened, and really look at us as having done the right thing. And I don't think that people forget that. It's really inspiring and emotional, and it makes you feel good as a person that, beyond being a leader of a business, that we made the right decisions.
Veolia employees are proud to have been part of the re-emergence of communities affected by Katrina.